Good afternoon, Elias.
Yes, good evening. So, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. So we are here to learn about an exciting new program that will allow our students to experience academic learning in high school while advancing their English proficiency. We are honored this evening to be joined by Dr. Ziona Levy, head of the Languages Department at the Ministry of Education, and a driving force behind this initiative. And Dr. Lior Cohen, he's the head of the program at the Open University and the course designer, and whose work will be presented this evening. Tonight, you will hear about the rationale behind the program, who it is meant for, and how you and your school can take part in the program. So over to you, Dr. Ziona Levy.
Thank you. Very nice to be again with English teachers and coordinators. And yes, we're going to present the program that has already been presented to approximately 200 principals all over the country who attended 2 sessions and who got most of the information, but you are getting much more in order to be able to be part of the decision-making in school, whether you're interested in joining and whether you feel that you are able to join at this point of the process, which is quite new. I'm beginning with my slides. At a certain point, Lior will take over. Okay, so the program has 2 names. You might hear about it either as Akademizacja, Tוכנית Akademizacja, or you may be hearing already about this from the media and on the radio. English is in the front of the publications, and it's called Semester ראשון כבר בתיכון, a very catchy name. And yes, it's organized by the Pedagogical Secretariat in many subjects. We are in the 2nd year, but English is in its 1st. So today we're going to have an exposure meeting for English teachers, and we're thinking about the coming year. So the program goals are to make higher education accessible to every student, to foster equal opportunities and reduce gaps in the society where we know that English is a big obstacle for many learners, to impart learning skills and familiarity with the world of academia, to encourage excellence, curiosity, and a sense of competence, to nurture and encourage students as independent learners, as students have to be. And what's the goal for language learning? So here we are, and we're gonna, maybe we'll ask this question after we finish, but there are many advantages among, in addition to what has been said here, for English to be on a much higher level, to close the gap between the end of school and the beginning of studies. We're gonna have a course according to the CFR goal, but we'll hear more about this as we go along. So yes, we're talking about a course that will be run through the Open University. Lior being the head of the English department. The program will be implemented only in the 12th grade for 5 pointers this year. In September, I'm giving you the whole course in a nutshell and this one slide, first of all, before we go into more details. In September, there is a placement test, what we call, what is called the Amiram test, which is run by NITE, the National Institution for Teaching and Evaluation, those that actually design the psychometric test, and also other high-stake future defining tests. And after that test is administered, the results go straight to the OpenU, and the division among who is in and who gets the opportunity within 5 points will be determined. So we have 2 courses that will be offered. I'm giving you this information in very broad terms. Those that will be getting from 100 to 119 points will be directed to מתקדמים א', and those that reach a score of 120 to 150 will be assigned to a group of מתקדמים ב'. An academic course will be provided, not in November, sorry, I forgot to fix this, apparently, hopefully in October, because we're counting 20 weeks of learning, but you know, with holidays and all that, it will be spread out to a bit longer, hopefully till the end of April, before the Bagrut of next year, which is mid-May. We already know the date of the Bagrut of 2026. So the idea is that this is an academic course within schools where the teachers are providing the course, which is mostly, well, we can call it, it's an online, maybe a slightly blended course. The course replaces the G module in the English matriculation exam, plus 10 bonus points, which it added because the academic course that we are providing that will prepare the students for their academic studies is much more, I don't know, much more, hopefully it isn't much more, but it's more demanding than the G module.
Are the 10 points bonus added to Tziyun HaGashar?
I'm sorry, answer questions after we're done, okay?
Sorry, yeah.
And also, all questions can be written in the chat unless I haven't answered this during the presentation, okay? So we're talking a replacement of the G module. Students who receive a score lower than 100 will not be offered to join the course at the first go, but we do want to give them the opportunity to be retested and maybe to try again to study the advanced A course, מתקדמים א', but they will have to be they will be retested and then and to try again. If the score is still lower than 100, they will take the regular matriculation exam, the G module, instead of the course exam in May. So actually, what does a student gain? And here we come back to the slide that I said, what is it for English? What are the advantages for English? So first, and this is not according to any kind of importance list, progress towards receiving an exemption from studying English to get into the university. That's a very, very big advantage. And especially since it's with no costs to the students, this is a real treat that the ministry or the state of Israel is giving, first of all, to the students, but we will see also to the teachers. We're strengthening the sense of competence in all 4 language skills. Over the years, we saw that even students who are not outstanding show success and learn to value learning. So actually, everyone actually is ready for this. Everyone, we're talking all levels and the 5 points, and we know that we have, let's say, heterogeneous classes of 5-pointers. We're offering the student a unique independent learning experience where he has this digital content laid in front of him in a very, very accessible manner, accompanied by a professional academic teacher from a recognized university, a grade that is integrated into the academic matriculation, as I said, plus 10 points of the final grade. And it's also, of course, it's a gate. It's an opportunity to get to learn and to experience what it means to learn on a higher level with lectures, learning at a different pace, in a different atmosphere. And of course, as we said, no costs, except for the transportation to the introductory meetings or if they're, and the exam at the end. That will be not counted. What does a teacher gain? So first of all, we're talking about a consolidation or an opportunity to consolidate the class as a learning group. Here we have an improved learning experience, an improved learning atmosphere in the classroom. And we're talking about a peak of learning in Yud Bet where they're more mature and will be devoting 4 hours a week that are anyway in their learning, in the learning schedule, supposedly. We're talking about strengthening the professional status of teachers as a mediator between school and academia, valued, influential, significant, and connecting between the worlds of school and university with ready-made materials. Of course, it's a contribution to school quality, where we talk about sometimes even the school branding, that a school that does this program as opposed to maybe a school that chose not to. Of course, we're also talking about a very important part of the program, which is the professional development of the teachers that take part in the program, continuing teacher education, 60 hours recognized for Gumul, exposure to innovative academic teaching according to the curriculum standard and the CFR. This is a very important point because the tasks simulate real life learning experiences of language. And we're talking about an opportunity to really lead educational change and even maybe a change in the routine, increase motivation among students, and meaningful learning. So, well, this was the slide provided to the principals, but basically you can see the road that we're taking. We're talking hybrid learning, 75% attendance of the course, what we call the Open U course, which is the learning of the teachers. And we are actually assigning the student to the 2 groups in school based on a placement test, in fact. The meetings, there will be 4 meetings 4 meetings that are considered frontal, starting hopefully by the end of, towards the end of June or beginning of July. Lior, I hope you mark that in your calendar. We're to start off, and also 1 Zoom session in order to start off. And I want to say, as I said, schools that did this already were very, very happy. And the voices of teachers are very positive in all the courses that were taken. I'm not going to quote now teachers in all subjects, but you should know that both teachers and learners who took part in this were satisfied and felt that it was a very unique experience. We will be following up on schools' attendance, both of the, as we said, both the learning process and the students through the platform that we have, and also through the Open U when the papers are submitted and the work is being done. I think now we can learn about the course itself. Lior, over to you.
Thank you, Tziona. I see the chat is blowing up with questions. So one approach that we had to this in the past was and if Sion, if you agree, we can talk about this later. We'll take your questions, we'll put them into like a Google Doc, into a table. We'll start to answer them because a lot of the questions repeat themselves. And then we'll send you the link with all the answers. I think that's a nice way to do it. That way
You want me to stop answering? I'm an inspector. Do you want me to stop answering? I'll stop answering.
There was no implicit.
I don't have a problem. I was doing it to help. If you want me to stop, I can stop.
No, בסדר, that's fine. I see that there's 61 chat.
I answer what I know. I don't answer what I don't know.
Okay, so we'll leave whatever we don't have answers on the spot now. I think we have most of the answers today, but if there's still something that is open, we will come back and through the inspectors, we will let you know exactly. Lior, you're asked to speak louder. Apparently,
Google Doc would be an excellent idea. Not everybody can follow all the answers in the chat at the same time.
No, we'll try to answer, Leo, and here Judy is here trying to help. So
wonderful.
See what we're left with, okay?
I increased the sensitivity of my microphone, so I hope that helps.
Right, and I think it's also very important to have later on when people start implementing things, so many questions they have. So who to address? Who to address? This is a very important issue, to have moked or sometimes something like that.
Well, we'll get back to you with all these answers. Okay, there are a lot of wonderful questions in the chat, and they'll help us with, but
it could be that the questions have already been answered, and you're going to answer. Let's go through it, and we'll see what still needs to be dealt with. Okay.
So I'm off.
Okay.
All right. Welcome everybody to this informational meeting about first semester in high school. Just want to see your faces here, and. Yofi. So this program has been taught in other disciplines at the Open University, but now we're talking about it being taught in EPIC. And we're going to get into what is EPIC. Some of you may know what EPIC is, but the first hint, E is for English. Just a little bit of information about the Open University. We have about 5,500 high school students currently enrolled at the Open University in the High School Academy program and in the first semester and high school programs, which are currently being run in other academic courses, not English at the moment. We're just getting started with English. In total, the Open University has about 50,000 students. We're the largest university in terms of student registration. And what we provide is rich learning materials and course websites supporting the 21st century needs. So let's just jump right in, an introduction to our courses. EPIC stands for English for the Purposes of International Communication. And this is part of the MALAG's reform, the Council for Higher Education's reform in English, which began in 2019, where a whole nation of English units, English for Academic Purposes, EAP, had to transition to EPIC. And that's what we did. And so here we're presenting to you EPIC courses, and it's moved us from strictly reading comprehension, and it opened up the game a little bit, a lot more creativity, a lot more dynamism. And I think that the high school programs were already more EPIC than we were when we were EAP. So it'll be plug and play for a lot of high schoolers in terms of the high school teachers, in terms of the mindset. And we're going to be talking about advanced A and B courses. All right, am I coming out clearly? Everything is understandable, thank you. All right, our major aims for the course. So we want our students to be acquiring English language skills for integration into the local and international job and academic markets, aligning to international standards of the Common European Framework of Reference, the companion volume, the one that came out in 2018, 2020. And the other side of that coin is we are developing communication skills across all 4 modes of communication in English. We have a well-established track record. These courses were developed at the Open University post-reform, post-2019, and are studied by thousands of students every semester with great success. So now we're talking about the Advanced A course. That's the lower level course. This is the students who place from 100 to 119. And I think on that point also, Tsiona, we're gonna, even the ones who score below 100, we're gonna let them start with the group, right? We'll let them start with the group, definitely. and then they'll need to, in order to be eligible to take the final exam, they will need to retake the AmirNet, which is the new night placement test. And so hopefully we'll just be keeping the kids together, right? In as much as we can. So now I'm talking to the students, right? And I want to talk to you a little bit about what the Advanced A course is all about. So I'm talking to the students. Imagine this. You're an international delegate representing your municipality vis-a-vis your sister cities abroad. And what you need to do is negotiate your salary in a budget tough year, plan a team day, a Yom Gibush, argue convincingly for your opinion on a neighborhood problem, and put forward a recommendation to address a municipal issue. So these are some of the real world tasks that internationalize our student body. The course learning outcomes are, so students who successfully complete this course will be able to negotiate politely and professionally, write a summary paragraph distilling essential information from a source, give a recommendation based on source materials, express an informed opinion both in writing and speaking, and reference academic professional sources of information. Okay, so that's Mitkedmim Aleph, Advanced A. The higher level course, Advanced B. Again, turning to the student, imagine this. As an ethically minded business professional, you need to present a United Nations Sustainable Development Goal, analyze and synthesize information about entrepreneurs, pitch an Israeli startup, and argue convincingly for your position on business fraud. The course learning outcomes are students who successfully complete this course will be able to write a summary paragraph distilling essential information from a source, synthesize several written and oral sources in writing and speaking, write a 3-paragraph position paper, deliver a formal and informal presentations using visual aids, and reference and build on academic and professional sources in writing and speaking. The adjustments that we need to make for high school teaching. All right. The course is going to be taught over a 6-month period, approximately double the number of hours at university. In university, we do it about 3.5 months, 13 weeks at 3 hours a week. And here it's going to be taught by the high school teachers, right? So that was a repeating question in the chat. The high school teachers, you're the ones who are going to become Open U instructors in some hybrid way. You'll still be working for the ministry, but you will be guided and supported by us.
And paid by you?
1 second, not paid. We're not.
No, your employer.
That's my question, because we're doing Open U University without being paid like Open U professors.
No.
This isn't the time now
for 1 second.
For negotiating that, but let me continue. The course is adapted. It will be adapted to the high school students, right? To be made so that the materials are accessible to them. The course instructors are the English teachers at the school who will be key partners in making lessons accessible to the students. And I want to stay with this for a second. This is part of Ani Ma'amin Sheli, is that the teachers will be partners and will have a voice, and that voice will be heard, and key insights will be implemented, and it won't take so long. All right, and so we're going to be wanting to hear from you. There will be coordinators for these courses, and they will be available and in touch with the high school teachers.
Leo, hold on, because you said voice of the teachers, and I don't want there to be any kind of frustration here. So let me just put in, answer 2 questions that are repeating themselves. Number 1, no gmul bagut is taken away. Whatever you teach for 5 points will continue at the same way. I want to remind you that for starting from next year, it's compulsory to do the Kob in the 12th grade. So it means that in any case, the students cannot finish teaching English in the 11th grade. So actually we have a program for the 12th grade that never existed. And I'm saying, I didn't say this, but I'll say this out loud and clear. This is not compulsory in any way. This costs a lot of money, both the course and the test, that usually every Israeli student, unless he's a very bright native speaker, in all 4 skills, I mean, native speaker who also can read academic texts, who can write academic manner. This is the course for an average 5-pointer, average, not so average, but a 5-point from 100 to 150. We're not taking away anything, we're just adding and giving. Whoever wants to join is more than welcome. I believe that there will be many, many schools opting for this course, these courses. And so really it's up to you and up to the school to decide. If any question regarding the numbers and who exactly will join, we can only answer after the test. We don't know at the moment how many students will join. I mean, we're talking about from 15 to 30 in a group, but I really can't tell you if there's a minimum at the moment, because if there's a small school who wants to join and it's the only school in the area, I don't believe that there will be somebody who will stop them. But again, if there are, just imagine, I'm just imagining, a request of 300 schools, okay? Just imagining. There are 1,200 high schools in Israel, and there will be like about a quarter asking to join. Then obviously, we'll have to reconsider funds and budgets and how this will be done.
Very good. Siona, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Okay.
Let's at the moment, we'll get there. What's important to me is that when we start with a full support network of academic and pedagogic guidance that the Open University will be able to provide to every high school teacher that does join. And the first year will be for, chalutzim. So a little bit of technical information.
The word is pioneers, Leo.
Pioneers in English, is that what the word is?
Yep.
Okay. So quizzes, the grade component, right? What replaces the module G's grade? We have the quizzes, which are done for homework, and they're graded automatically on the course sites. There are the unit final assignments, and there are I think about 4 of these in the course, and these are graded by the teachers, which are some of you all. And then there is the final exam, and that's graded at the Open University by us. Okay, and all of that, this plus this plus this, that equals the student's grade instead of module G, right? The teacher's role, classroom teaching, guiding students, and grading the assignments. In terms of the materials, we provide a rich course website with a lot of carefully designed lesson plans, activities, and learning materials. All right. The students are going to be taking the placement test in September, and then we go out for Chagim. We have the high holidays. And then the course should begin to run from the end of October till the end of April at 4 weekly hours at least. All right. So if there are some loose threads to tie off from the 11th grade, you still have September and maybe a bit of October to do that as well. And your coordinators will be providing you with the support and guidance you need, and you'll be able to tell them about your individual or specific situation, and they'll advise you as to the best way forward. All right, the course site contains a lot of visual aids for lessons, course assignments, enrichment materials, question bank for practice and review. It's built as a digital textbook. That's how you should envision the course site. It's a digital textbook that has a lot of engaging resources, and it's built in this linear way. We call it at the Open University, retzafim. And you can see the retzafim there. Those are the circles. And you can see the level of engagement with various resources right there on the front page. And these are all kinds of things that teachers who will be participating will be trained and will be taught how to understand what it is that they're seeing.
And not only understand, but actually see the materials and really be prepared with the materials and for the students.
We're on a fast track evolutionary trajectory on the incorporation of learning analytics. And so you'll see the digital footprints of your students as they're working through the course site, and then be able to adjust and adapt your face-to-face teaching with them in the classroom based on where you may start to recognize certain lagging going on in the learning. And so we're working on this. We're trying to get better at this, and that the dream is where the learning analytics can provide the Open University instructor with actionable suggestions for what to focus on in the next class meeting with the students based on their performance up until then. So training and support for teachers. We will be providing guidance and support. We're planning a June online kickoff, and then intensive face-to-face training days at our Ramat Aviv campus, which is more accessible via public transportation. And that'll happen, we're looking about 2 6-hour days in September. And then the rest of this, it'll be a total of a 60-hour Gmul Ishtalmut course. And some of the other hours will be toch kedei, the semester, because as you become more and more familiar, you'll have new questions and you'll start to advance in your thinking, in becoming familiar with the pedagogy, and it'll internalize and you'll have insights and you want to discuss. So we'll create those opportunities for you during the semester as well. We're basically looking for a few good teachers, those who want to take part in the training as well, which is really kind of like the Demei Retzinut. And also we want teachers who see this challenge as an opportunity for their own self-improvement, but even more importantly, for the improvement of their students. And we're hoping that that's something that we can provide. זה השליחות שלנו.
עם שליחות לא קונים במכולת, ליאור, עם כל הכבוד, בגלל זה שבאתי.
So
why are we... No, you're ignoring it. You keep ignoring it.
I'm not ignoring it.
You need to get paid properly for this assignment. If you want us to do Open University, Open University teaching, we should...
I'm sorry, Hada, I have to mute you. I'm sorry, I apologize. I'm not running for an election. We don't, only those who want to opt in. If you don't want to participate, כאילו, באמת. If you see it as unfair, maybe you're right.
I'm asking if you want us to do projects like this, which are brilliant, make it worthwhile for the teachers, not just for the students. That's all I'm asking.
I'll do what I can. You know, I know that many boe katan, but you know the ecosystem we live in. There are also like 370 people in the room. We should handle these one-on-one discussions maybe in a one-on-one format. But I appreciate what you're saying. I feel your pain, and Ken, we'll do what we can. I'm moving on, continuing. Schedules for the schedule for the future. So during May, we're closing registration of the program. We'll select the schools and we'll set it up. Who we want to, well, I need to know who are the teachers that we're going to be working with as soon as possible. End of June kickoff meeting. This will be online on Zoom. In September, the students take the placement test. Then we're talking about 2 frontal days of teaching. What I hope to do in June is to open up access to at least some of the materials, because again, we're starting to adapt the materials to the high school demographic, to those students. So whatever will be ready, we will open up, and you can start. The participating teachers will be able to walk around the site, travel, and see, you know, and start to get a feel. We'll make the coordinators of the course available to you. You'll be able to reach out to them, and then you can choose what kind of level of engagement you want to have in July and August with your coordinators. I'm not sure if we'll do anything in July, but אני אומר את זה ככה, להגיד כוכבית, שלא תגידו אחרי זה לא אמרתי. End of October, it's when we're going to begin the classroom teaching. And so there is the full month of September before the Chagim, where you can really, you know, prepare spiritually for this, but also tie off loose ends if you have still have loose requirements for the literature part of the Bagrut or other things that you want your students to do to start the course clean. So thank you. I'm going to turn the microphone back over to Tziona. I hope I was clear.
Can we ask you questions?
Sure,
can I ask a question?
One second. If we start like ping pong here, this won't be very smart. There's 370 people asking questions. So let's be a bit more efficient here. I'll just answer a few of the things here that reoccurred, and then we'll see what else is open. First of all, I'm saying that we'll say this again. Imagine this trajectory, okay? The students are being tested with let's say an objective tool, and in September, the grades are not being, the tests are not being marked by the teachers. I saw somebody saying something about that, but the marked through Malo or through Night, some of it automatically, some of it the way they mark it. And they send the results straight to the OpenU. You're supposed to get lists. Leo, correct me if I'm wrong. You're supposed to get any school that is registered. It gets the lists of his students that passed the exam and the division into the two groups according to their score. By that time, you have already been learning at least the beginning stages of the course. You know what the first units are all about. You know how to get into the site. And you know how to divide up your week with, from our point of view, 4 hours of classes, 4 hours of English during the week, as always. Until the winter, unless you want to drag it into the summer, but until the winter, you also have the COBE, which won't require, I believe, 5 pointers. It won't require too much practice, and it is advised to finish by the end of Yud Aleph, to finish the project, to finish the literature, and to leave everything. To finish whatever is possible by the end of Yud Aleph. Okay, then so the course begins, and then the instruction at school also begins, but after we have the results and we know how many groups you have in school. I don't know that answer yet. I don't know how many schools, but we know that. And I think Karen actually asked. We know that we're talking about between 15 to 30 students in a group. So obviously I can't tell you if there's 22 or 25, because it depends again. I also want to remind you that many students sit in the 5-point group, and they're not all true 5-pointers. So we don't know exactly who's going to pass the test and who not. There's also a question about students with learning disabilities accommodations. So I want to answer that as well. I specifically asked the OpenU about this. Lior, do you want to answer regarding students with learning disabilities? Because we discussed this.
Yes, I can. So in terms of the teaching, the teacher will be in class, or by getting the advice of their coordinator of the course into how to manage it with the particularities of your specific context, you'll be adapting and adjusting the pedagogy. But then in terms of the assessments, on the exam, they get extra time, יש הקלטות, כן, של הטקסט.
According to the school accommodations that is given, according to the vadot, exactly in the same way. Okay, the bigger problem, the bigger issue, not the problem. The bigger issue is not the OpenU course, and not even the OpenU test at the end, because then is where they do get the accommodations. The bigger problem is the psychometric test, Amiram. They also give accommodations, but there are two conditions. Number one, and that I have checked myself. Number one, because the test is going to be held in two places. I'm just saying this. The test is held in centers in the big cities, and if there are, and of course there are schools that are in remote places, they are not expected to travel to the bigger cities. There are centers for the test in all the big cities, and the Malag, or the team, not Malag, what am I saying? Malo will come to test the students in a school. Okay, that's what we were told. Accommodations, whatever they're given, will be given only in the center. So if a student needs something that it deals with accommodation, then and he gets it, which is not exactly the same as we know in school. In school, there's a bit more. It's a bit more lenient. Maybe that's not the best word to use. Then that they can only be tested in the center, not at school. So what else can I say that is like more across the board for everyone? Students who are beyond 150 level don't need the course because they're already exempted from the psychometric entrance exam in English, the English part, okay? The English part, they are exempted from. What else? The teachers are paid according to their taken hours, exact same way with their gmulim. I said that already 3 times. And somebody asked at the beginning of the session regarding special education learners. Everything is defined by this placement test. So if there's a student who speaks English well, but he happens to be special ed, there's no reason why he shouldn't be part of this course. We're not looking to exempt anyone or to not to address students that have specific needs. On the contrary, this is a different way of looking at learning English.
Tsiona, if I can, to clarify the point of the exemption, right? So any student who takes on the AmirNet and receives a 134 to a 150, they're exempt from the Advanced B course, right? Which is at there was another question about the CFR levels. So it's a B2 production, C1 reception, if that makes sense to you in terms of your CFR lingo, is if you're familiar with it. What Tsiona and I did talk about was that the 134s to 150s, those students can join the Mitקדמים Bet group, because in the US there's like freshman English composition 101, and there's no exemption from that. But in Israel, there's no Hebrew comparable course and no English comparable course. And so מתקדמים Bet, Advanced B, ends up being that comparable course. And it's just healthy for them to take. I wouldn't assume because they get it between a 134 and a 150 on the Emilnet that they don't need the course. I think that the course would still be very beneficial.
We said that the course will be available to everyone until 150. We never said.
Oh no.
We didn't say not. Okay, so what else did I leave? Did I miss here? Only the course we are going with the OpenU because their scores. The student actually gets a certification that they're finished with this part of the entrance into the university, and it holds for 7 years. So think of a 12th grader who goes to the army or goes and then goes abroad and takes his time. So they're still, we're talking about 7 years that this is still applicable, whatever grade. And the student can move either, if he starts in מתקדמים Aleph, then he moves up a level already to מתקדמים Bet. And if he has finished מתקדמים Bet, then he's done with the psychometric test. I'm surprised that people are asking the same questions again and again. How many hours? How many hours? 4 hours a week. Okay. What else can I say? This is really a present to whoever joins, but this is not compulsory in any way. And you have to decide if this is something that suits you at this point of your career, at this point of the way you look at what English entails and what you want to offer students. Also, I'm sure that the principal will also have what to say about this because it's quite competitive and it is really something to think about. In terms of planning, I saw questions regarding preparing the students for the test. No, that's not the idea. No need to prepare the students for the test. It's where they are and what they can do independent of preparation. Whatever they learned for 12 years, not 12 years, 11 years or less, that's what they have and that's what they should be preparing for.
I can say something on that too, right? So it's a placement exam. There's no passing and failing, right? And what we imagine with the 5-pointers is we'll see students who get between 100 to maybe close to 150, right? And if there's a few who get slightly below 100, we'll let them start with the מתקדמים Aleph course, with the advanced A course, and hopefully if they retake the night exam, the Emilnet, in the middle of the semester, after they get a couple lessons under their belt, they'll be improved and be able to score in anyway and be eligible to take the final exam. But otherwise, they can always just go and take the Bagrut, which they would have been prepared for anyway because the course is writing oriented, reading oriented. They're still doing the fundamentals. And so we tried to really think about where are all the hidden pitfalls, and we did think, and we know the devil's in the details, and we went through and we did our SWOT analysis, and I think we have pretty good coverage of pretty much almost all of the questions that we're seeing in the chat.
Okay, another thing where there's a question that's repeating about the registration to the program. You're not registering to the course. Somebody asked. You're registering for the program. The school commits, the principal commits to the participation in the program from beginning to end. If a school starts, the teacher has assigned herself into the course and then decides to drop out, the students will also be dropped out. I have to tell you this. It's not like the teacher is actually not accountable for this. It's not like it's a package deal. Students come in, but teachers come with. And we are gaining, teachers are gaining a special platform to work with all the materials in it. That's it. That's basically what it is about. Registration is on a portal called משרד החינוך סמסטר ראשון בתיכון. If you look for it, it's the first link that comes up. Okay? סמסטר ראשון בתיכון, portal, has information for principals. I believe the recording of this session will be put up there. Because we don't...
Also, I'm sure on the portal.
What? זהו, that's... or it could be also on the portal.
On the English portal.
Yes, definitely.
Sorry,
That's all.
So stop sending your emails, please.
to do the frontal lessons? What about all those teachers from Jerusalem area?
What?
Is Ramat Aviv the only place to do the frontal days?
4 days will
Possible
be
for
in
the
Ramat Aviv, yes, and people from all over the country will come to Ramat Aviv.
There's a train station.
There's a train station. It's
Yeah.
right in Matach, and right near the university. I go there. I take the train and I climb the steps, and I am at the Open U.
So, and just another couple of points is if teachers don't want to join this year, the program will grow in the following year. And so that's okay. If you need, if this is last minute for you and it feels like this is something you want to participate in, but you're not able to because of whatever contextual factors are there, then, come next year. We really do want this is voluntary. You come in, you join, no one's forcing you. It's important to know, though, that the hishtalmut is mandatory because we need to ensure the quality of the teaching, that the materials are prepared for you. There's a lot of work on the site. It's a digital textbook, and it's been prepared for you, and you'll have the support from your coordinators. And so we're also going to be learning together, because I want to emphasize that the
Open U coordinator, they might think they're talking about their English coordinator.
No, your Open University each course, the Open University has a merakez hora'ah, has a merekezet hora'ah, has a teaching coordinator. And that person will be your go-to person as a teacher in this program.
Is it going to be possible to do the hishtalmut without committing to do it this year?
That's a question that I was asked also about from a school, that they want to join the hishtalmut, but they don't want to take part in the course yet with the students. So I can't answer that question yet until I know how many schools are involved and whether there is place in yes or no. If there are, so we'll wait. We'll be much smarter in September with the numbers, okay? With the numbers, we will be smarter. We'll see how many students are in the courses, how many were accepted to מתקדמים א', מתקדמים ב', but there is one minimum requirement that I forgot to mention. We do not want to have one level in a school only, even in a small school. We want to see only two levels in every school. Every school participating, because we want to give an equal opportunity for both levels, okay?
For students in grade 12 who've completed E, F, and G this year, can they do the course next year?
Yes, they can. It's not connected. They did G, but again, this is a very amazing opportunity. I see Lily is very nicely holding up her hand, and also Nadia Neumann. So do you want to answer? Do you want to ask a question?
Yes, I would like to. I want to understand the technical issue. For example, we have 4 groups of 12th grade, and then only, I don't know, half of them have passed this placement test. How it's going on? So we need to make a mix of all these groups.
That's a very good point. Yes, you're right. So I was talking about my imagining of this program. So yes, after the test, there's going to be reassignment of students into 2 groups. Let's say if there's 1 class, it will be, or 2 classes, I would say 2 classes of 5 points in like an average size school. And then they will be reassigned into 2 levels because it was heterogeneous and it will be separated. Yes, you're right, Lily.
So in terms of salary, it's like the same if I teach a regular group for module G?
No matter that, no difference. No difference.
Okay, and what if we have more students than we can put in these two groups? Like we have, I don't know, for example, 100 students.
I'm saying again, only those that did the test and were assigned by the OpenU to the 2 levels, okay?
And all the rest will learn the regular course, like the regular module.
To the regular program that okay? All the rest are doing their usual English program.
Okay, so no extra budget, like to have a separate group only for the...
No. This is, as it is, it's already very, very, very expensive.
So you expect us to have 3 groups for Module G for 5 points, one for Anglit 1, Anglit 2, and then 5, and then G.
And then a regular program that is a possibility.
With the same stuff that we have in school.
That's one scenario. That's one possible scenario. Yes.
We have 1 or 2 students in each level. If it's a small school, then we have like 3 students for Anglit A and 2 and 3 students for Anglit.
No, I don't think that will be the case. I don't think that will be the case. But maybe I really can't commit that below 15 will be assigned to an independent group. But we'll see from the numbers.
No, but do you each school studies alone, or do we have like if we're from Tel Aviv, so you take from different schools, you take different students?
No.
Or each school has its own program.
We're not mixing.
Okay.
I think that's the case of mixing schools, and if a school principal decides to do some kind of combination, that's not.
And what about special ed that have oral testing for Module G?
I already answered that question. Then you can follow the recording. Gil, what is your question?
Yes, if a student has already taken the psychometric exam and he got more than 134 in the English part, so he has an exemption already. So this program is not for him.
Nachon, absolutely.
But that student can join the course.
Yeah, for extra, for enrichment.
I'll just say, maybe you're not aware, but every student in Israel, as part of their learning in the university, after the psychometric, he's already become a student, he's studying physics, becoming a physician or whatever. He has to do 2 courses in English, content English.
Yeah, okay.
Just for your information, Kacha. So actually, this is a very good opening for the future, besides everything else. Gil, you are so patient, so I'm going to...
One second, Gil, 1 second. Siona, I'm sorry, I have another Zoom. I have to go, so I'm not answering anymore. Everyone, have a good night.
Thank you. Gil, I'm going to take questions, and I also have to close. Yes, Gil.
First of all, again, the idea seems like it could be implemented. However, with thinking towards the summer, I'm currently the coordinator. I have 2 teachers in 12th grade teaching 65 students for 5 points. I already know I won't be able to join because I can't split one of the teachers. I can't have, and let's say, even if I do have 2 teachers and it miraculously will be all of them qualify, it might be 20 on level A, 40 on level B. I can't have a 40 class. So what does that mean to schools such as myself?
Gil, you don't know that all these students will actually join the course. You don't know.
I know that most of them, some of them won't. Again, out of the 60, I said miraculously. I can pretty much tell you what, based on my knowledge of the students, will probably be 20, 20, 20, which means I'll need another 5-point teacher, which I don't have.
That's a thing, Gil. But based on your knowledge, you don't know how they will perform on this placement.
I know my students well enough. Okay? If my E students, if I have a struggling student, I know that I have about 5 or 10 of them in this among those 60 students. We're pushing them to 5 points. I know they'll be struggling. I'm not even sure they'll qualify for B. But again, I can't take the risk of assigning 2 classes knowing that in November or October I'll need a 3rd group, and I don't have the manpower for it.
Okay, so
if the placement exams would have been
hold on.
Earlier,
I got that. I got the idea.
That's my question. Bottom line, that's my question. Is it possible to have placement done, like even during the summer? So, you know, it's an extracurricular offer for the students. It has certain values for them. So I can say, hey, take the exam so we can figure out the year.
No, you're absolutely right. And I think that in the next
year,
year,
if I don't know how many
but listen, we're like 3 minutes past 7. I want to ask Siona how we're wrapping up. But just to answer your question, you're absolutely right. The placement scores, that's the ne'elam here, right? That's what we don't know, and that will always be a challenge. This is the first year of the program. Next year, we hope that we can send them to the night exam in 11th grade and then be better prepared for the following year. At the meantime, we don't have that kind of a time frame. You're absolutely right. Maybe that means that for this year, you'll wait it out and prepare for next year so that you don't stress yourself out. Because אני מאמין שעבודה צריכה לעשות בנחת. And if we don't do it and it's too stressful, then it'll look like that. So, you know, you have your...
Yes, everybody here wants to be successful. I mean, payment-wise and what do we get? I know that would be taken care of. I'm not even worried about that. Eventually, if it's not going to be worthwhile, it's not going to happen. I'm not worried about that. I'm worrying more about the logistical part and the planning ahead part, which as a coordinator and a 5-point teacher has to be done in advance. You can't jump the boat so
that's clear. Preparation time apparently is necessary, but it will be left to you and to your coordinator, to your school, to make decisions whether it is appropriate. And I said that from the beginning. At this point, with this type of information, this is the first year of English. You can relate to it as a pilot program. As Leo said, those who join will be somewhat pioneers in this, but look, the one subject that there's nothing to lose if you learn more of is English or language. So the more you learn, the more you gain, the students for sure. And based on that, you'll make decisions. We'll try to
just one beginning.
More information. The big unknown issue is after the placement test, who is in and who needs further practice and who doesn't need the course at all or who can't take the course at all. And these are...
When is the exam going to take place though? Not the placement, I'm itself.
Sorry, there are other people who want to ask questions, not a private conversation here, and people who waited very patiently. And I really have to go to another meeting. Karin,
I have to go help my kids with their English.
Leo,
I'd just like to ask a question. If the role of the teacher is as facilitator, then my question is, why wouldn't level A and level B be permitted to sit in the same room? Because the same teacher's just a facilitator.
2 different courses. It's simply 2 levels, 2 courses. And when you see, you'll see that it's 2 courses and 2 levels. Thank you. Jennifer.
Okay, thanks.
Hi, I just wanted to ask regarding the Moat's class that I will have in the 11th grade next year.
No 11th grade. No 11th grade. No. At this point, no 11th grade. Miri Asbia.
Hi, Tiona. Thank you. I have a Yudalefim. There are 26 5-pointers. I believe they can all do this. I don't know at which level, A or B, but could we join if, I don't know if there will be less than 15 in each group?
I already answered that question. At the moment, I think...
You don't know.
I don't know. At the moment, the minimum is 15. Could be that depending on the numbers in specific schools in remote places, that decisions will be made. It's about budgets, really. It's a very expensive program, and I don't want to promise things that I won't be able to keep. Okay, promises I won't be able.
Yes, thank you. I would like to ask Lior and you, please, about the vision of this program. I thought that exposing pupils to university, it should not cater only 5-pointers. And this is the bad feeling I have. Why not exposing it also to 4-pointers? Because we are being exposed to AI courses, and again, only 5 points, 5 points. Like, what about all the others?
One second. First of all, I don't know what the school decision they made, what decisions were made regarding AI. AI is open to everyone. There's no connection between the two. Regarding 5 points, we're starting with this. It's closer. The gap is a bit closer, minimized. But I don't know, Iris, what will be. Of course, in my dream, we are starting with this much earlier, and we're giving not only מתקדמים א', מתקדמים ב', but Leo, what's the name of the course that we have that is before? It's called
CC.
Bakasha. So there are courses, but then it's not 2 hours, it's not 4 hours a week, it's 8 hours a week. Can we in school offer 8 hours a week only of English? It's hard for me to believe.
Okay, and about, please.
Practical here. We're being very, very practical.
Yeah, so to be practical, can I offer something? Because we have a special program in Nahariya, Future Ready, and we accompany pupils in different AI courses. So why couldn't we do this program as a kind of a global village?
Are you a university?
Which means taking pupils from different schools, and there is one teacher who supervises and accompanies them, and that could help a lot of...
We're not promoting now other programs. This is now what we're talking about.
No, I'm talking about the methodology to make it easier, because there are not enough teachers.
So Iris, for now, the program that we've put out, it's already crazy. Right? It blows my mind, and I lose sleep at night just because I care about this program. We're interested in these kind of ideas that you have, but first let's see if we can lay down the foundation, and then I'm very willing to talk. I like the way you're thinking, but not now, because I'm experiencing a little bit of overwhelming just getting these 2 courses out, right?
So if I'm a teacher of 3 and 4 pointers, because I think it's more challenging, I cannot take part in this course.
That's right.
In this program. So you see, I'm also being like I do not get any benefits. I would like to open up. I would like to see things, and then again, you cater to teachers who teach 5 pointers. And
your point is well noted.
At this point in time, only. Yes. We'll see what happens.
Okay,
Gabriela.
I would like to ask if the students that will have finished the course and will get an exception from studying English in the university, will this paper will be accepted also in other universities, not only
That's the advantage of the Open University. I can give you an example in another subject that I'm dealing with, Hebrew for Arabic speakers. Haifa University does not provide the course with recognition for other universities. So we simply we don't have a contract with them, even though Haifa would be the most suitable geographically. So yes, this is the condition, okay? And yes, recognize. Rachel Fund.
Hi. So I know people asked it, but I see it. Just want to know if I only have 45 pointers.
Or you better answer Alexandra something that says that you Open U is not accepted everywhere. So that's your thing to answer.
Yeah.
No, so
Alexandra's from Ben Gurion. Ben Gurion has went back and forth on what's accepted, what's not accepted. I still don't understand their policy. The truth is, Bar Ilan had problems in the past. They recognize our face-to-face courses, and all the rest of the universities, Chad Mashmait, as well as the colleges. So I don't know, Alexandra may be from Ben Gurion.
Thank you, Leo. Rachel?
Yeah, so I did not understand, because if I only have 45 pointers, then I don't see how we can have 3 groups. So I should not even try, or try and maybe you will accept it. Like, what's the minimum number that you could already tell teachers, forget about it, there's no chance, there's no way that you'll get accepted?
Okay, we have I've already answered that. The number of students, the minimum number as it stands today. New information will be given after all students in the program are tested and the results are seen. There's no point asking the question in different ways.
So we should try the maximum no, Kilo. We can't promise. That's what you're saying.
Yes, exactly.
If you have two groups and all the students placed, around 100 and above on the AmirNet, you can do it with your two groups as long as you have more than 15 in a group.
Yeah, okay, fine. So, beseda. Thank you.
I really have to go to this other.
And I want to ask a question.
So last question, and then we'll wrap up.
I was
really
waiting
patiently.
Okay.
What's the question?
Giving you. It's fine.
So I have two questions. First of all, can we make students take this program? Is it?
No,
no,
we're not
and
forcing.
some students say we're not doing it.
No.
And again, a question that was already asked, but I absolutely need to know the definite answer. We also have only two 5-point classes. And I understand that if some students do and some students don't, but we cannot mix A and B in one class. So it's almost like a block that doesn't allow it to happen. Because if we have even if we mix up the classes, and there's a class that studies for regular G.
This is
taking the program at all.
This question or this answer that I will give will be premature. I'm not answering that question again. I can't tell you because it's a question of budgets. From my point of view, I would give the course to everyone. We'll see how many groups there are. And
one last question. Can the students take the test and then just say, okay, forget it, we're doing the regular G, or are we committing something?
We're not committing to anything. Nobody is signing a contract besides the school that signs in and decides that they have a group and a class, and the school is the one that makes the commitment, not the
When
they register,
after the test.
when they register and when they sign in that they want to do.
When is that? But when? Now or in September after the test?
Now.
So how can I know?
You said two questions. You've already gone overboard. Esther Medina.
Okay, my question is, let's say I take the Hishtalmut now, and then my class takes the test, and there aren't enough students. So, do you understand my question?
I do understand your question.
How many potential students would you send to the test, Esther?
I have to see the test first. I don't know.
How many 5-pointers do you have in 11th grade at the moment?
We have about 40, but they're not very high. Some of them are, but I'm not sure we have more than.
We'll see how
15, 20. I don't know.
You'll send them all, and you will see what the grades, and then we'll help you make decisions. Seda?
I'm wondering, Sion, if they can just send their students.
Just said they'll send them to the test, and we'll see what happens.
Okay. But it means that I have to take the Ishtalmud. They have to take this test and to prepare the whole schedule for the year. It's a lot to do, and then to change everything.
Why do you have to change? It's for
מערכת, more hours. Another teacher should. We need more teachers.
So, בסדר.
Okay, quick questions. If I have, can I send more than 2 teachers to the Ishtalmut? Because we have something like 100 students.
I was asked a question, and I'm saying again, it depends.
You don't know yet, at least 2 teachers, and then you will know if you can send more, right? Okay. Now about the ongoing assessment of the course, is it done by the teachers or by the university?
All done by the university.
The ongoing assessment, the quizzes are automatically graded by the site. The unit final assignment, something like 4, graded by the teachers. The final exam graded by the Open University.
Okay, I'm just trying to understand what is expected of teachers. And you said that schools that are interested need to register by the end of May, which is like 3 days from today.
Oh, no, Lama, end of May. I don't think it's end of May.
Lior said that in the timeline they presented.
What's the deadline, Siona?
I remember June 10. That's what
was written.
בסדר.
אני עוד מעט 8 ביוני.
Okay, thank you.
בסדר. Fine. טוב. Okay, who didn't? Esther answered.
No, that's it. We're good, no?
Almost. Have another meeting.
We were very informative. We did a wonderful job of presenting this program. I think people
I don't
haven't.
know that everybody agrees with you here.
No, I think they have enough information to make a decision. Maybe some will go this way, some will go this way. But
we never saw what the course actually looks like. We would like to see what kinds of tests are we giving? What are the assignments that I as teacher
sample materials. We need sample materials.
Listen, I gotta go help my kids with their homework.
Okay, that's
in
fine,
English.
but I'm just saying that would be informative.
No,
because
you're
then I would
right.
actually know.
Yeah, you're right. I'm going to talk to Tsiona about creating maybe like a Google Doc that's composed of some of these questions, and I'll talk to my staff and we'll see if we can put up like some sort of sample test at this level and at that level. All right, and
that would be amazing. Then I could really
post a link, please. Let's see the level, something.
Yeah.
The portal link would be great, please.
Would be great.
Okay, if anyone is interested in hearing this show again, then
no.
At 7 we are performing once more, and I'm having
on Thursday.
And this group did a great job of preparing us for Thursday.
Can I quickly just ask a question?
No, yes.
I know for sure that I have less than 15 students, so I don't want to sign up because I don't see a reason to, but when things will be clear, can I follow up on if for some, I don't know, miraculous reason?
Yeah, of course. Thank you for attending and for learning, interested in hearing more, and information will come out as we go along, I promise. But let's put it this way, it's a joint hope to get our students to know more English and to succeed more. So really, if not, we wouldn't be dealing with this at all. So, Bezat Hashem yeh tov.
Siona, can I ask you a question, please, in the company of all my friends?
Really, I'm late, really. So please excuse me, and if there are further questions on Thursday night at 7.
Hey, ladies, why don't you stay here for a second? I think my question's worth asking, even if Siona has to go. Are you going to close and we can't see each other anymore?
At my Zoom, so I'm not closing anything.
אנחנו צריכים לסיים, אז תודה רבה לכולם. ביום חמישי מפגש נוסף בשעה 7. אז תודה לכם. ערב טוב.
תודה רבה.